Alright guys, so we're back on the 2500 here, and I got two boxes here. We're gonna get undone, but as you can probably read, I read a cooling fantasy. So we are going to be upgrading the cooling system today on the truck. This is a 2001 2500 HD with a 6.0. And it's not a cup holder, Madison. Basically, we're going to be getting rid of the old fan clutch assembly here and the broken ass fan shroud, and we're going to be doing electric fans. So this is actually a electric fan assembly off of a 2011 2500 HD. It's a 9-blade. It's supposed to fit this truck. We'll find out. But basically, the only way this is going to work is if you have the large radiator. I think it's 34-inch. The smaller one's like 28 inches. So anywho, I actually had to get a new radiator too, which is in this. What's in this box? Because when I first bought it, it was leaking, but then I've been driving it for 2 weeks and it hasn't leaked. But I'm not gonna take any chances. Go ahead and replace the radiator, along with doing the electric fan upgrade. And then I also got the wiring harness from Nelson Performance here that we're going to be installing with the electric fan conversion because 99 to 02. It's 499 to 02, I should say, the harnesses. So we're gonna get that installed and everything, and see how that turns out. I've never had electric fans, so I've always wanted them. So we'll see how this turns out. I forgot to get my wrench to take the fan shroud, the clutch fan off, just the pulley. So we'll see how we'll get that off. But yeah, so I'll get these unboxed and we'll jump into it. I'm gonna get the radiator replaced. I'm not gonna video that. It's just a radiator. But I'll start videoing when I get the radiator replaced, and we'll start working on this little fan assembly here. Alright guys, so I got the radiator replaced. There's the new one all plumbed in. I haven't put the top one on yet because I'm gonna leave it off until I get the whole electric fan set up in and everything, and I can crank the truck up to bleed the system. But anyway, this is the old one. A little messed up, but this is where it was leaking from. I don't know if y'all can see those cracks. I don't know if it'll focus enough to see. Yeah, you can kind of see the cracks right there. This whole tank right here is cracked, and that's where it was leaking from. So got that replaced, so I shouldn't have any more coolant leaks. Normally it's the water pump that leaks, but the water pump's not leaking, so we're not going to replace it. If it goes leaking, we'll replace it. But anywho, the radiator was messed up. I replaced the radiator. Now we're going to get to this electric fan assembly. I actually cannot find my wrench to take this fan clutch off. So either I need to go to Harbor Freight and just get a big ass adjustable wrench, or I need to go to O'Reilly's and actually rent the tool for this. Really, I've always just put a big wrench on it, tapped it with the hammer, and it spin right off. So I don't know where. I gotta go find a wrench though. And I noticed this pulley's cracked. I'm missing a chunk, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a new tensioner too while I'm at it. And then we'll get back on the electric fan. So I'll be back. Alright guys, I got the clutch fan off and the fan shroud and everything. Got this up in here. Got the new radiator in. Everything's connected and everything except for the top hose. Just did that so it'd be easier to get the fan in. You don't have to have the fan. You don't have to have the hose disconnection or whatever. But basically, the fan, I think the bottom of the fan clips onto this little rail right here, and also clips into the radiator right here on the sides. So got little pegs right here. I think that clips on to the radiator. And then on the bottom, it's got them little clips. Sits on that little metal rail. It's also got little handles, you can pick it up. It's got all the little holes, like your coolant hose and everything can just pop right back in like the factory was, but obviously mine's been ghettofied, so it don't have all that. Someone's done taking them off and whatnot. Actually, it didn't even have the plastic clips, so your fan shrouds held together with plastic clips, and they just had some bolts in it and they were rusted out, so that was fun getting off. I don't know if y'all can see that, but someone's done to use like shoestring. I don't even know what that is. Some kind of, it looks like the stuff they pull wire with through conduit, but they got some stuff tied up, so I gotta fix that. Almost like they did a little repair job right here or something. I don't even know what's going on right there. Obviously it didn't work because it's still leaking, it looks like. And also, like right here, you can see none of the hoses or the hard lines are in the connectors. And same thing on the bottom going by the train or the engine and everything. Nothing is in their connectors. It's all, whoever worked on this truck, I don't even know, dude. They didn't need to be working on it, I'll tell you that. Somehow they broke the fan shroud. They didn't put any of the hoses, hard lines in their clips. I mean, look at this radiator. It completely destroyed the radiator, which none of this is where it was leaking. It was actually leaking right here at this tank. It was cracked. It's cracked all the way down right here. So that's where it was leaking. So yeah, anyways, we're gonna get this fan assembly put in. Here, it just drops in. I can't really do it with two hands, or can't do it with one hand, so I'm gonna have to put the video or the phone down. Okay, so it's in. It just mounts on the side tab on the radiator. The bottom tabs don't even go touch. It's like an inch too short, so I mean it's not going anywhere. It's in there. Also, since this isn't the OEM fan assembly, there's no holes in the radiator or the core support. Like, they got rib nuts right here from different things. If you get the OEM one, like the 05 to 06, maybe 07 Classic, fan assembly, it'll have or it should have the holes in the radiator or core support. But anywho, mine doesn't have it, so I have to drill a hole, put a rib nut insert in there, and then I can bolt this down. But like I said, it's not going anywhere, it's in there. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the harness installed. It's pretty simple. Let's see here. Let's get this all laid out here. You got your two fan connectors you plug in, you got your relays, and then you got a blue wire, right? So it comes with instructions right here. And your blue wire, let's see here, I can't remember. Blue wire goes to connector pin 42 on the blue connector. And then the green wire mine goes to the tap into the AC green wire. So then you got your two grounds, and then where's the power wires? Right here. You got your two power wires. They say to put this on the alternator. I'm just going to put it on the little, inside that little red box, the junction. And then these are going to go on the behind the bracket for the junction box. And they send you a little wire tap. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cut the wire, add a lead off of it, solder it together and shrink wrap it, and then get another one of these spade connectors to connect it to, and then probably heat shrink that, put a heat shrink thing around it, heat shrink it. That way we just don't have any corrosion or water getting there or anything. I just don't trust wire taps. It's not really a clean look either. So like I said, we'll find that green wire, we'll solder a lead onto it, heat shrink it, and then connect it to this, and then that's pretty much it. And then we got to take our HPTuners, get our laptop, get the HPTuners pulled up, and then flash our new calibration on for the electric fans. You have to tune the computer for the electric fans. So we'll get to that when I get all this done. Alright, so I got the holes drilled, some rib nuts installed on either side. I don't know if I can see that. On that side. There's a rib nut in there. Got those installed so we can get the fan back in and bolted in. Got some M8 1.25 by 30 millimeter bolts and a washer pack. But I also, I don't know if I can see that AC belt's kind of dry rotted, so I got a new one. We'll go ahead and replace that. So I'm gonna get that done and we'll get back on the reinstalling that. Hey guys, so after getting the AC belt off, I started spinning the pulleys, and that don't sound too good. Got some play in it too. And then I started spinning all of them. This one actually got a chip now. I already knew about this one. I took the serpentine belt off. That's what that one sounds like. And then this one, it doesn't really have a noise to it. It kind of does, but it doesn't want to spin at all. So I went to O'Reilly's. Merry Christmas to me. I got some new shit. Got the new AC tensioner. Got the idler pulley, and then they didn't have the assembly for the serpentine tensioner, so I just got the pulley for now. And we might try and upgrade to a, I don't know, we might upgrade the, or replace, I'm sorry, we might replace the whole assembly, tensioner assembly down the road. But for now, we'll just replace the pulley with the bearing in it. And I also got the new AC belt. So I already had it, but we'll get all this put on, and then we'll get back to the electric fans, which are right there. Okay, so I got the AC tensioner replaced, the belt replaced. I took the old tensioner off. These are the bolts that they had in it. These aren't the factory bolts, so I went ahead and put the factory bolts back in. I have a spare engine, so put the factory bolts back in. I did get a new radiator cap too, so no one says anything about that. I placed the radiator. Obviously you gotta replace the cap. Yep, I got my rib nuts installed, so now we can put the fan back in and get everything put back together and tuned and whatnot, filled, the coolant system. Yeah, basically I'll be done after that. Alright guys, so I got everything wired up here. Got the fans plugged in. I got the ground wire ran to the bracket right behind the bracket right here. I got the power wires on the alternator, and so if you get a 1-pin like me, you're gonna have a blue wire and a green wire. So the blue wire connects to the PCM on the, so it's gonna connect on the blue connector here on pin 42, which is right there. The blue wire goes in there. Basically you just you pop these little 2 tabs, the white tabs right here, you push those in with like a pick or something, pull this blue thing off, take your pick and puncture the little rubber piece in the back, and then you can push your blue connector in and it just snaps right in. If you push it all the way through, it snaps in. Pull on it a little bit, make sure it's in there, and you can put everything back together. But it's a 7mm to take the connector out of the computer. It's got these plastic things on it. Mine are broke. Someone's been in here before. Basically got these tabs. Just use a little flathead screwdriver to kind of work them up. Try not to break them. They are fragile. But anywho, yeah, so on the blue connector, blue wire goes in pin 42. If you have a 2-wire PCM, so like mine's a single terminal, so my green wire actually taps into the AC wire. But if you have the 2-wire one, the green wire you're going to put in pin 33 of either your green or red connector. I have a red connector, so in pin 33, same as the, same thing. You go to pin, pull the back off, go to pin 33. There's actually 99 to 02 right here. So 99 to 02 truck connector, the red connector. If you go to pin 33, it actually says HVAC recirculation door control, or use this pin for a fan 2 control. So when you go to HPTuners, if you're using HPTuners, you gotta make sure to go to the AC, go to systems, go to AC, and make sure you swap it from HVAC or AC recirculation door control, and you change it to actually a fan 2. So you're gonna be using it for fan 2. The computer's gonna be sending a signal for fan 2 out, not HVAC recirculation. So I'm leaving that alone because I'm not putting my green wire in the blue connector. My green wire is actually going and tapping into the AC wire here. So that actually sends you a tap. It's one of those little plastic tap things that you put on the wire, and you crimp it like with a pair of pliers, and it taps the wire. I think those are trashy. It's just kind of ghetto. It can corrode and mess. It's not a good connection. You could. So what I did is you just find the green wire, you cut it, you get another piece of green wire. I actually had another AC wire in the harness, so I just cut part of the green wire out, and then you solder that in all in one, and then you heat shrink it for one, you have a really good strong connection, and two, to be weather resistant. This is marine heat shrink, so it's got that adhesive in it. So or you could just you take a butt connector and butt connect them back together using those heat shrink butt connectors, or if you just want to put heat shrink over it, that's fine too. But soldering is a way better connection, stronger than a butt connector. So that's what I did. I just heat shrinked it. We'll put everything back in the loom. Got the little connectors connected right here for the green wire to the harness. That's basically it. After we get all this put back together, we're gonna mount the plastic cover, and then we're gonna screw the relays to that plastic cover here. Where's it at? I actually had to go to the junkyard and get one. Mine was missing. So basically we'll just screw those relays to the side of this plastic cover that goes over the PCM. So you don't have to worry about it. Make sure you just get it in the right spot. But your PCM actually has a opening right here, so you shouldn't be able to screw into this. You don't want to anyways. So just make sure that you put your cover on, see where that opening is, and then you screw your relays right there in the line. So yeah, I'm gonna get all this put back together, and we'll hop on to the HPTuners part of the video. All right guys, we are in the truck. Got the computer hooked up. We're gonna go ahead and go into HPTuners here, VCM editor, fill a load. I don't know what that was about, but all right. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. Go to open file, my truck, open it. We're going to go to system, fans, and you're going to want to change all this. Yours isn't going to look like this from factory anyways. So you have to actually go in and first off, fan type. If you have a clutch fan, it's going to say no fans. You got to change it to 2 fans. Then you got to change all these parameters and stuff. All this information needs to be changed. This is just what I changed it to. This is my preferences. And then when you go to this on right here, it's going to say AC recirc. If you have a clutch fan and whatnot, you're going to want to change that to fan 2. If you put the 2 pins in your PCM. Now my green wire went to the AC wire instead of the computer for fan 2, so I'm gonna keep that on AC recirculation. And then we're going to... Alright, well guys, I forgot to record. I had to resync my interface real quick. Basically you hit right, and then you just hit right, and it'll write the system. Now you want to make sure all accessory stuff is off. You do not want any kind of power draw on this. You want to make sure your battery's fully charged. You're not even trying to ride the vehicle unless if it's below 11.5 volts. Don't even try to ride it. Like I said, if it has any kind of voltage drop while it's trying to write to your PCM, you can break the PCM. You can junk the PCM or ECM, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, basically you write it, and once you do that, it's good to go, really. My little coolant light's on, not sure why. Coolant's full, but anywho, go ahead and close that. We're waiting for the vehicle to get up to temp. I might actually go ahead and reconnect and go to scanner. Where you at? We'll go to VCM scanner. Connect vehicle. Start scanning. And there we go. We got all of our information here. Looks like the temp's at 133. Alright, so we're at 199 at temp. And the fans are on, both of them on low speed. So let's turn the AC on. Both fans are on high speed now. So that is cool. Everything works. Still sitting at 199. AC's cold. I'll call this a success. I guess that's gonna be it. I'm gonna clean everything up, figure out what's going on with that coolant light, low coolant light. Like I said, the coolant's full. Get all the air out of the cooling system as well, and then cap it off, make sure nothing overheats. Take it for a test drive, and that's about it. That's gonna be it for this. That's how you put electric fans on your 99 to 02 truck. Well, damn. So, after doing the electric fan conversion, right? Got it tuned and everything, cranked it up, and I thought the AC was working, but after 10 minutes of it running, I came back and the air was hot, and I looked and the AC pressure wasn't coming on. And after doing all kinds of looking and diagnosing, I found out it was getting power to the air or AC compressor. It was getting 11.6 volts to the clutch, but it wasn't coming on. So I was like, either the clutch is bad or it's not getting enough voltage. And I didn't swap the alternator out for the, so this is like 105 amp, and this is like 145 amp alternator. So these fans, like a high speed, when the AC's on, it pulls 40 amps. So I was like, either it's not getting enough power or the clutch assembly's messed up. So I went and got a new alternator, upgraded alternator, 145 amp, and I also got the clutch. It's still running too. I also got the clutch. I got the clutch assembly. So I went ahead and was like, I'll just go ahead and replace the alternator and see if that's the problem. Sure enough, I replaced the alternator, turned the truck back on, AC works. So I actually spent 2 hours trying to get the AC clutch to come on, and it would not come on. I even went on HPTuners and commanded the AC clutch to come on, the fans would come on, everything would work. I tested low and high pressure switch. I tested voltage at the clutch, like everything was working except the clutch. So I was like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna go get a new one. So I went ahead and got the alternator and the clutch, and I went ahead and installed the alternator, and it ended up being, I guess the alternator, I guess it wasn't getting no power. Because now it's working. I don't know. AC works, the clutch is still going. That's good. Fans work and everything. Truck doesn't overheat. I'll pull up oh yeah, that's cold. I'll pull up HPTuners and open up the scan software. I got HPTuners pulled up here. We're sitting at 199 degrees. Watch the volt gauge when I turn this off. Freaking spikes. And then drops. That's what it did with the old alternator. I was just figuring it didn't have enough power. I don't know if I need a bigger alternator or not. I mean, it said 145 would be plenty enough to run the fans. Like that's the alternator factory with electric fans is 145, so it should be fine. My low coolant light never came back on, so I guess it finally just figured out, hey, there's actually coolant in here. But yeah, we're looking good.